Jets fans, it's time for tonight's three-star selection. Tonight's third star from your Winnipeg Jets, number 81, Kyle Connor. Tonight's second star from the Vegas Golden Knights, number 29, Marchessault and Fleury. And tonight's first star from the Vegas Golden Knights, number 81, Jonathan Marchessault.
A couple of guarantees for you as we begin the Jets TV Live postgame show alongside Jordy Douglas. I'm Jamie Thomas. Guarantee number one, we're coming back here for another game. Game 5 will be here at Bell MTS Place next weekend. Guarantee number 2, we are not going to confuse the Vegas Golden Knights with the Nashville Predators. That being said, that's out of the way. The Jets fall 3-1 in Game 2 of this series. A lot of questions heading into this one, Jordy, was how would Vegas react? How would they? What adjustments would they make? From the start, what did you think of their game?
Actually, I thought their game was terrific. They came out of the gate much quicker, I thought, than Winnipeg. They were more aggressive on the forecheck. They got their feet moving. They got the puck in deep. And Winnipeg, on the other hand, got a little bit more, a little bit loose in their end and a little bit careless with some of the passes and the turnovers, and that's a byproduct of pressure. So Vegas really upped their tempo. It took a while for the Jets to gather that same speed. They did towards the end of the second and into the third, but by then they were running out of gas, I think, both emotionally and physically. The Jets were, but I thought Vegas upped their game, kept the game on the outside, kept it on the boards best they could, and they can skate. That team can skate, and they showed that they were forechecked hard. They had two men on the body, 2 men on the puck, I mean, and their game was really up tempo.
It's amazing how this works in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So one game, the team looks like a world beater. There's no way Vegas can skate with the Jets. There's no way they can beat them in this series. That's how these things change. And a great example of how bounces don't go your way is a good example. Mark Scheifele has a golden opportunity with Marc-Andre Fleury. The puck goes through Fleury's pads, and the Golden Knights clear it out. In Game 1, that goes in. Same thing. Nikolai Ehlers' good rush goes the backhand, goes off the post. Game 1, that goes in.
Yeah. This is why they play the games, folks. You know, you make your breaks with good hard effort. You create turnovers with good effort. You know, and you get these chances. And over time, chances are going to go in, but they don't all go in. And tonight, that was the case for the Jets. They had their chances. Vegas had their chances, and they were able to put a couple in. Jets had their chances, and they just didn't go in. So, you know, that's the nature of the game, the rub of the game. That's why you play the game. Jets will be much better next game. We know how they rebound, but tonight was one of those games I just didn't think they were in sync. We talked a little bit. I think they were mentally tired, I think, a little bit after the Nashville series. They emotionally had a great first game. And I think this is a good moment for them to kind of regroup the troop, recharge the batteries, and get ready for Game 3.
Arguably, heading to the series, Marc-Andre Fleury was probably the best goaltender the Jets had faced in this postseason. Now, heading into the series, Fleury was 2-0 when allowing 4 goals in the previous playoff game. He bounced back again tonight. Maybe not his best effort, but still did enough to help Vegas win tonight.
Listen, Jets had chances. It wasn't for lack of chances, but Fleury made some big saves. He got some breaks, the goalpost, and so did Hellebuyck. There was some, you know, he made some good saves, and he got some goalposts. That's the nature of the game. But Fleury rebounded to give his team a chance to win. So you remember last game, Jets get up real quick on them, and they start chasing the game. Tonight it was the other way around. Vegas gets up, and now Winnipeg chases the game. So when that starts to happen, the Jets change their game a little bit. But Fleury's making the saves he needs to keep his team in it and ahead in this, for that matter. And it held out to the end.
Another one of your keys that we were going to talk about tonight is, could the Jets keep their speed up that they had so much in game number 1? Vegas did a great job of keeping everything to the outside. They clogged up the middle part of the ice, especially in the offensive end of the rink. Does that play into the fact that Jet speed wasn't going as well tonight as it was in Game 1?
Yeah, well, I think so. Look, as a player, you hate playing along the boards. That's exhausting. So Vegas did a good job pushing the game to the boards, but they did a great job blocking shots and having active sticks. So they frustrated the Jets at every turn. Even though the Jets might have had pressure in the Vegas end at different times, there was really no real clean momentum. They were battling for position. They were battling to get shots, and they were getting blocked or hitting sticks. And Vegas kept pushing it to the side. The longer they did that, the tireder the Jets got, and that's the nature of the game. And I think they played on the Jets' emotional seventh game win. They rode it in Game 1, and I think tonight there was a little bit of the byproduct of all that emotion kind of coming out of the balloon.
Right. So this series now tied at 1. Of course, we're going to go in the Jets dressing room live with some interviews, likely hear from the captain, Blake Wheeler. I believe, timing is everything in this sport, and producer Ryan Dietrich just said that Blake Wheeler is ready. Let's hear from the captain.
Like that, if someone has seen that series that you went through against Nashville, could look like a similar game. Did it feel like they played you similar to how Nashville did when they were able to keep the score low?
Oh, we were chasing the game again, down 2 goals, and just made it tough. It didn't feel like playing against Nashville, but those guys do a good job in their own right. We just couldn't get any momentum going.
You guys had those early chances too. Talk about the difference between capitalizing on one early and not. What that kind of does for the mood.
Well, we were, there was about 57 minutes of that game. That was pretty good for us. 3 minutes of it got away from us. They could have scored 4 goals in 3 minutes, and just got to stay with it better. Realize that they have some guys on their team that can make plays as well, and there are going to be moments in this series where they get scoring chances. They're going to create some momentum and put the puck in the net. Just a matter of how you react to it.
Why did that game get away from you for that stretch in the first year? What stopped happening?
Well, they scored 2 goals, and then we just kind of got away from it. The second one was tough. Didn't really see what happened, but just kind of a breakdown, and give up a breakaway after the next face-off. So just little things that are pretty easy to clean up.
Paul was saying before the game he thought that Vegas would defend better in that 10-foot area around Fleury. Do you think you guys were able to get enough second chances tonight?
Well, obviously you're going to feel like you didn't because you only scored 1 goal and it was a power play goal. There wasn't a whole lot either way. That was a playoff type game, heavy on both sides, and outside of the few minutes there, it was back and forth. It was a great hockey game.
Very good point made by the captain. It was a good, solid game for the Jets for 57 minutes. You have a couple mental lapses, mistakes were made. Vegas capitalizes on it. Overall, just tying into what we've been talking about so far here.
Well, you think about the game. When you are tired is when you are going to make mistakes, and that's the reality. Repetitive mistakes, at least. Hockey's a game of mistakes, and a mistake on the ice can be adjusted to, or somebody can cover up for you. But it was almost a repetitive thing. One mistake led to another, and a continuance. Not unsimilar to the second goal that Vegas scored. Literally a 2-on-0 from the blue line in on a bad change on defense. And young Connor had the puck at the red line. All he has to do is get it in, and everything. So these things compound themselves. Everybody says, it's a bad change. Well, if that puck gets in deep, then it's a moot point. So these things compound themselves. That goal is a compound of a couple of mistakes. It ends up in the net. Even the first goal, Tatar gets, nice play.
Lana didn't get it out.
Yeah, so little things like that, and then and he gets one shot, nice save. Puck comes right back to him, and he jams it home. And again, it's all this. You read and react where the players are, and when you're tired, when you're mentally tired, you don't react as quick enough, or you just don't make the right read, and mistakes happen. And at this level, folks, you make a mistake, it's not only on your net, it's usually in your net.
Especially this time of year, Jordy. Let's go back in the Jets dressing room. Here's Jacob Trouba.
That one kind of slows down a bit.
Sorry, but just what is the biggest difference that you noticed in the style you played in 2 versus 1?
We knew it was going to be a faster game. We knew they were coming off a pretty good break. We knew it was going to be pretty emotional and high strung. I think we knew they were going to be faster this game, and that's what they were. They're a good team. This is the conference finals. I don't think anyone expected anything different.
Marchessault, what's the biggest challenge they present as a defensive group?
They're good offensively and defensively. I think they're one of their top defensive lines as well. They're quick. They're pretty strong down low, and they got a good sense of where each other are on the ice, especially in the offensive zone. They play well together, and they've been playing like that all year.
Jacob, you guys have been maybe the most quick strike team in the playoffs so far this season. How does that team compare in that regard to some of the other teams you played?
Yeah, I think they're opportunistic. Again, same sense that we kind of can be. You give them a little light or a little day, they're going to take advantage of it. Doesn't really matter what line it is. Each line brings a little bit something different to the table, and they can all rattle around in that offensive zone.
You guys have been in this position before. How do you view things going to Vegas tied 1-1?
It's a series. I don't think anybody's panicking. We've been here before. It's a long series, and we're going to go to Vegas, and we like our road game. We like where it was in the Nashville series, so we're going to try to bring the same effort.
Get him twisted a little bit, and then the second goal was the same thing. Was a turnover. It was just a kind of a lack of communication with the line change here. So I think 2 good goals right there, and then then we almost came, and then we got it to 1 goal, and then same thing. Just I think we pinched, but forwards maybe didn't. I gotta see it again, but usually what happens when our D-men pinch, they usually have the green light. Usually our forwards are backing them up, and so when you're pressing, trying to get the goal, sometimes you're trying to get ahead of yourself.
Did it feel like Vegas picked up their game a lot from game 1?
I don't know. It's just, I think what we worry about is the way we want to play. So, if they make adjustments, when we're playing good, playing our game, or when we down a goal or 2 goals, when we're playing well, we don't get out of our game. When we get down a goal or 2 and we don't play well, then all of a sudden we get out of our game and we try to do too much, and we turn the puck over too much in neutral zone, and it gets clogged, and that's when that feeds our transition game. And they had a couple posts. Bucky made some big saves, so then Fleury made a couple big saves for them. So it's kind of a couple plays here and there kind of opens the game up.
You're 8-1. They're now 7. What is it about that?
I don't know. To be honest, I just sometimes it's easier playing down a goal because then the other team sits back. You get to be more aggressive. Sometimes you're up a goal, it's easier for other guys because all of a sudden they feel like they're playing with house money. You know, different players have a little less to lose just because you're up a goal. So I think just when good teams have a lead, you know, they keep their foot on the gas and they keep going. They want the next goal. And you know, it's conference finals, so you're going to have two of the top teams playing each other, and both teams are aggressive. Both teams kind of don't sit back when they're in the lead.
Same message from Paul Stastny as we heard from Blake Wheeler, chasing the game. That seemed consistently what the Winnipeg Jets did on this night. Now, Gerard Gallant did make some adjustments. He brought in Thomas Tatar into the lineup, and of course he scores the first goal of the game for the Vegas Golden Knights. And when you need a response, a return, you got to get it from your top line. Jonathan Marchessault, Carlson, and Smith all combined for 5 points. We're going to talk a little bit more about this, but Paul Maurice, the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets, is just about to get to the podium. Here he is.
Just a reminder, please raise your hand and wait for the microphone and state your name and affiliation before your question. We'll take questions for Coach Maurice. We'll start with Chris here in the front right.
Paul, Chris Johnson from Sportsnet. I'm wondering from your perspective why you thought that stretch in the game got away from you there where they were able to score a couple times.
I liked our first 10 minutes. I liked how it went, and you know, it was kind of the way the game had been played. Then after we got control of it, can't get it clean, you know, and in part you have to give them credit, real good sticks on the puck real hard. But we felt most of the issues that we had after that, and didn't feel that we had started poorly at all. We liked the way we started. We didn't do a whole lot of clean things with the puck, but you know, they were good. They were on the puck and didn't make it easy.
Paul, second row on the right.
Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. They got the 2, and then Blake thought they could have had 4 or 5.
Well, yeah. I mean, that we got a couple of posts on us, and we were not right. Didn't hold, but it didn't cost us. But certainly, there's a 10-minute block there we're not going to like very much tomorrow.
Any idea why? Was it the 2 goals kind of rocked the?
Yeah, you know what? I think so. It. Probably, I think we really got out of our routes and out of our patience at that point.
Vegas pick it up much from game 1, you think? Or?
Oh, they were better for sure. Yeah, they were.
Second row on the left.
Murat Atesh, The Athletic. Paul, is it as simple as taking out that few-minute stretch where things went poorly and sort of snowballed a little bit and the rest was all right? Or is there more to that in improving for next game?
Yeah, there's 2 things. The one that cost us, I think, is that we pushed too early, got out of our routes too early. So the piece of the game that we're not looking like where we're standing, where we're moving to. And then the second piece of that was what I'd said earlier, is that, you know, we didn't do anything clean. We didn't do anything quickly. That part, I think, was true of the whole game, and we'll want to be better there.
Front row on the left.
Larry Lay, JP, can you talk about their forechecking and how their defense created their offense, at least in the first couple goals?
Yeah, off our sticks, yeah. We've just come through, I would think, the hardest forechecking team in the National Hockey League, so we should be accustomed to that and be able to handle that pretty well. I didn't think, you know, the first goal, again, it's on our stick and it's clean, and we should be able to do something. And Kyle Cotter never actually had it settled down, but we'd been in zone for a bit. And then we're on a line change that we got to hold before we change. We got to know that we're at the line. We got to know we're getting it deep. But we'll look at it. I didn't feel that they'd felt it was on our stick an awful lot. We would have been fine.
Any more questions for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Jets head coach Paul Maurice addressing the media following a 3-1 loss to the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. The series now tied at 1. They head to Vegas for Games 3 and 4 of the series. Is there a lot to be upset about, or is there enough to work off, and you've seen enough body of work in this postseason to know that everything's going to be okay?
There's no reason to be upset. You can be a little disappointed, sure, you know, you're at home and so on and so forth. But we've seen this all year from this team. Last series against Nashville, you know, they go in and they win 3 out of 4 games in Nashville. I mean, this is a team that's well prepared mentally. They physically have all the attributes they need to win. They score goals. if I say any one word, it wasn't clicking for them tonight. It just wasn't one of their nights. And does this make them upset or no? Not at all. They're so well prepared for the next game. They'll look at some video, they'll make some adjustments from the point of view of learning experiences, and so on and so forth. And they'll be well prepared for the game in Vegas in 2 nights.
We were just talking about Thomas Tatar. It's scoring a goal in his first game. He hadn't played in the previous 3. He had played last in Game 4 of the series against the San Jose Sharks. Does a new body change things that much when you're a coach, when you're trying to get something going in the next game?
Well, yes and no. I mean, it gives you a different look. We saw the Jets flip Connor and wingers from time to time. That makes a difference in the moment, in the heat of a game. Bringing a player in, it can. We saw Nashville do it with Scott Hartnell. He gets in and changes the complexion of the game because of the dynamic of how he played. Tatar's a goal scorer. He's got good hands, and it paid off for them tonight. So Vegas is looking to make whatever small adjustments that can help their team. And, in this case, it worked and got a result for it.
Previous game, Jacob Trouba and Josh Morrissey were given a lot of credit for shutting down the top line, and as they have throughout this playoffs 5-on-5, and the Jets still a very good team 5-on-5 tonight. Now, Nate Schmidt and Braden McNabb, maybe 2 lesser-known players in this league. If you haven't watched Vegas all year, they were on the ice consistently against the Scheifele line. What did you think of the work they did tonight?
Well, very good work, but collectively they were very good defensively because they had very active sticks and they were in the Jets' face all the time. They were physically, Nashville's a great forechecking team, but I thought Vegas did a great job defensively, being in the face of the Jets, not giving them any time or space to make change, make choices and make passes. And in concert to that, they blocked shots, and man, their sticks were active. So nothing was clean for the Jets. They had sustained some activity, but most of it was on the perimeter, on the periphery, and they couldn't get it inside. So collectively they did well, but that pairing in particular, made it very difficult for the Scheifele line for sure.
I wanted to ask you about the penalty on Blake Wheeler, too. That kind of gave a little bit of momentum, or took some momentum. It's in the offensive end of the rink. Yeah. Coaches hate to see those. You have kind of a thought on why that call was made.
Sure. I mean, you're not to reach in to begin with. And it wasn't like it was a strong reach in. But let's remember the Tampa Bay series. I think it was the Boston game. And there's a play that should have been called, didn't. It bounced right back out. And Tampa scores on a one-timer. Stamkos one-times and wins the game. You got to believe the league's going, look, we can't let this happen, no matter how innocent, because if it does spin around, goes in the net, everybody's up in arms again. So it's not an overly aggressive play, but it is taking your hand and you're tipping him off balance enough to go down. I think that's going to be called the rest of the way regardless.
When the top 2 lines aren't going offensively like they have been in throughout this playoffs, and the top lines, the Jets have had their nights off. Yeah. You're leaning on your bottom 2 lines to get some work done. What did you think of the Lowry and Little lines tonight? I thought some good periods of sustained pressure in Vegas' end.
Well, their expertise, they're going to toss a goal in every now and then. Mm-hmm. And they get their chances, but they're about getting the puck in deep and getting a cycle going, getting the bodies bouncing, getting the pucks moving around, and quote unquote building momentum. And they did that. They did that from time to time. But again, Vegas did a good job keeping that puck on the periphery, getting in lanes so the shots can't go through, making it just difficult. And the longer the game goes, the harder it was, and that was indicative of tonight, I think.
The victorious team has just walked in. It's Marc-Andre Fleury and Jonathan Marchessault. Let's hear from them right now.
You would see what this team was made of, your thoughts about the team itself and you in particular with your performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely satisfied with our effort tonight. Every time we needed a big game of our group, and we show up. And tonight we definitely show up, and I think we showed the hockey world that we own the right to be here, and we're able to play against a great team.
Shang, middle right.
Shang Peng, Hockey Buzz. Jonathan, would you say this was the best game you've played in your career?
I said that?
No, I'm asking you. Oh. Was this the best game of your career?
Well, I think it was a good game. I mean, definitely an important game for a group, and I think as a forward, our effort last game was good, but not good enough. And I think as a guy that plays with 2 great players, I wanted to step up and try to do my job the best. And yeah, I'm really happy. I'm satisfied with my game.
Ed, front right.
Ed Graney, Review Journal. Jonathan, you just said that every time the team needs a big game, you step up. How much does kind of what seems to be a consistent relationship with Turk and this team have to do that? Not too high, not too low, just kind of go on to the next one and not let things linger.
Yeah, I mean, that's I think a strength of our team. It's we don't get comfortable, we don't get satisfied, and after a win or lose, the next day we all know it's a new day, and we're ready to recharge the batteries, and we don't look in 2 or 3 games. We'd always look the game ahead, and I think it's awesome quality for a hockey club to have.
Chris, front right.
Mark, Chris Johnson from Sportsnet. I'm just wondering, how did those first couple minutes feel for you, and how did you keep that puck out on the Scheifele chance? It looked like it squeezed by you.
Yeah, I think like expected, they came out flying again, with a lot of speed, and that first one, I think it just trickled, hit both my pads in my knees, and I was a little worried, but my defense showed up and helped me out.
Rod Nickel with Reuters. Jonathan, how do you reflect on how you and so many other guys on this team have stepped up with big seasons a year after the disappointment of perhaps being exposed in the expansion draft?
I mean, I think that's the story of our club. I mean, we were all part of not being part of the center of every hockey clubs we were, I think, and everybody sees their opportunity here, and that's what makes our success is. We're just a bunch of hockey players that wanted to find a home, and we did. And honestly, it's been awesome.
Ian McIntyre from Sportsnet. Jonathan, when you're as strong in your words as you were on Saturday, do you feel an obligation that you've got to back it up, that you've got to personally perform at a high level?
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to talk out there in the media and say stuff that you have to be better, I think you need to lead by example, and try to do that tonight.
We'll take 2 more in English, and then we'll take 3 in French. Nick here on the left.
Mark, Piggy, I'm wondering if you could comment on Jonathan. You guys don't have a captain, but at different points, guys step up and lead. You've done it. Lots of other guys have done it. How did Jonathan do it this time?
I think it's what makes the success of our team. I think everybody's comfortable, and we have a great chemistry in the room. I think we have a good, good mix of older guys and younger guys, and middle guys maybe. And everybody steps up. It's at some point, and everybody is contributing to the success of our team, and that's what has made us a good team over the season. And that's why we've been consistent throughout the season and the playoffs.
Last one in English on the left.
Jonathan Muratatesh from The Athletic. Did you feel like your forecheck was faster and tracked back better tonight, and if so, why?
Yes, I think our forecheck was great. Not necessarily in the second period, but first and third period we definitely put pressure on their D, and we were able to get some turnovers, and that's a strength for our team. We know if we forecheck hard, it doesn't matter any D. At some point they're going to turn the puck over and we'll get chances, and we got chances tonight.
Okay, we'll take some questions in French. Elizabeth on the back right here.
Jonathan, tu parlais, je suis ici. Tu parlais tantôt en anglais que tu mènes par l'exemple, et ce matin et dans les derniers jours, tu mentionnais que c'est important que tout le monde rebondisse. Tu l'as fait de la bonne manière. Ce matin, tu voulais entendre des bruits de criquets dans l'amphithéâtre. C'est arrivé?
Ouais, je pense que c'est un meilleur feeling de scorer sur la route qu'à la maison des fois. Puis sincèrement, c'était juste des beaux efforts de mes coéquipiers. Ils ont travaillé fort tout le match, puis j'ai juste été capable de mettre la puck derrière le filet, derrière le goaler. Puis non, je pense que je suis satisfait de notre équipe ce soir.
JF.
Marc-André, tu as eu la chance de jouer avec de bons joueurs à Pittsburgh. Là, le gars à côté de toi, Jonathan Marchessault, c'était quand même placé de la pression sur les épaules en disant que l'équipe devait connaître un meilleur match. C'était pratiquement une victoire cruciale pour vous, un match crucial. Il répond avec 2 buts. À quel point Jonathan a du caractère?
Attention à ce que tu vas dire.
Que c'est un gars qui a un peu une grande trappe des fois, mais Je pense qu'il back it up, il back up toujours. C'est un gars qui travaille fort dans les pratiques. Il était important pour nous toute la saison. Encore une fois, il était honnête quand il répondait à vos questions. Puis pour lui, il n'y avait pas d'autre alternative que d'avoir une grosse game à solve, d'avoir une victoire. Puis il a tiré une grosse game, puis nous a aidé à gagner ça.
We'll take one more in French on the right.
Oui, Jonathan Pierre-Gabriel Turgeon de Radio-Canada. Je voudrais savoir, quand les Jets ont marqué leur premier but, ça a été quoi le sentiment sur le banc et le fait de marquer ce troisième but-là, quel sentiment ça vous a procuré également?
Je pense qu'on a travaillé trop fort les deux premières périodes pour les laisser revenir dans le match. Puis ils ont eu quand même 2 power play de suite. Puis pour nous autres, on n'allait pas arrêter peu importe ce qui arrivait. Puis on est juste sorti, tout de suite après le but, on est sorti fort. Puis je pense que Carlson a fait un jeu incroyable à Smith, puis Smith aussi. Puis j'avais juste à mettre la puck dans le filet, puis certainement un bon feeling de taire la foule.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We have Coach Gallant again. Just a reminder, please raise your hand and wait for the microphone and state your name and affiliation before your question. We'll take questions for Coach. We'll start with Ed here in the front.
Turk, Ed Graney, Review Journal. I assume tonight you thought all 20 played. After the last game, when you say that, do you hope they hear you, or is that just you kind of giving them a message?
They know the message. It happens so many times this year, and we didn't have too many bad games, but they don't have to hear me. They know my thoughts, and they know themselves. So they weren't good enough last game, and they knew that, and they had to respond tonight, and they did in a big way.
Second row on the left.
Jesse Granger, Las Vegas Sun. Marchessault had some strong words after the game, saying that they need to show everyone what kind of team they are and his performance tonight. Can you just talk about him and his compete level? Not a big guy, but one of the most competitive guys on the team.
Oh, Marcy was real good tonight. He scored 2 big goals, but I thought all their team did their jobs tonight. Everybody played their role tonight. They did an excellent job what they done, and obviously that top line, when they get going and they make some plays and they got some time and space like they did, they scored a couple beautiful goals. So they were really good, and they were good, strong defensively also. So great game by that line.
Shang, middle right.
Shang Peng, a Hockey Buzz. David Perron was a little bit of a surprise scratch tonight.
He wasn't a scratch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
He wasn't feeling well.
Okay.
So he wasn't a healthy scratch.
More questions for Coach? Pierre?
Coach, in the video you saw of the Nashville-Winnipeg series, the Predators had a lot of success in Game 4 and in Game 6. You know, they jump out to 2-0 lead and really frustrated the Jets and capitalized on turnovers. Were there things there that you felt you could import here in this series for your team?
Yeah, definitely. And I think the key tonight was, again, they came out pretty hard, and Fleury had to make 3 or 4 real good saves the first 7 or 8 minutes again. You know, he made some solid saves. And we rebounded after that, and we got that 2-0 lead, and it was a different game for us. I mean, when teams are chasing the lead, it's tough for teams to battle back. I mean, it's happened a few times in the playoffs, but when you get a 2-0 lead, it's tough on the other team, and I thought we did a good job. And again, the first 10 minutes, I thought Winnipeg came out and they played their game, and they had some chances, and Fleury was huge for us.
Steve Clark for the Review Journal. Could you just talk a little bit about the job Nate Schmidt did in trying to contain Scheifele, which is arguably the toughest job for anybody to play?
Yeah, no, Nate Schmidt does a job. That's his role all year long, and you can't forget about Braden McNabb. They're partners out there. It's not one guy shutting down somebody. So you put that line out, you know, against the top line as much as you can, and then there's, like I said, when they're not out there, then you got usually Englund and Theodore out there against them. So it's, you know, our guys play hard and they battled hard, and you know, they had success tonight. The other night that line was outstanding, and you know, got some goals in that game. But our guys battle and compete, and no matter who they're playing against, they're going to do their job. And tonight we worried more about our team than the other team's game, and we played a good solid hockey game. And if we're going to have a chance to win, we got to play that game every night.
We'll take 2 more for Coach. Gary on the far right.
Gary Lawless, Vegas Golden Knights. Turk, what's it like for a coach to be able to tap on a player like Tatar and Nosek in the middle of a series?
Yeah, we've done it all playoffs long and all season long, and every time guys come in, they do a good job. And I thought both of them played excellent games tonight. Tatar scores a big goal early in the hockey game to get us a 1-0 lead, and then you see Nosek blocking shots in the PK and doing a real good job defensively. So they come in, they do their job. They don't try to do anything special. They just try and do their own jobs.
Right side.
Turk, John Morosi, NHL Network. How optimistic are you that Perron will be an option for you in Game 3?
I'm sure he will, but like I said, we'll worry about that tomorrow. But I think he'll be fine.
Sean, last one here in the front.
Gerard, you just mentioned that guys come in and they do their game, and that's all they do. What is it in Thomas's game, and what did he do tonight?
Who's that?
Tatar. What did he do that allowed him to be successful?
Well, he scored a goal. Obviously, that was the biggest thing. I mean, and he's a goal scorer, and I thought he played quick and played fast, and he was hungry to play. So it was a great job. And again, he hasn't played a whole lot of games in the playoffs. He's an important player for us when he gets the opportunity, and that's what I want him to do. Because you got roles on your team, you got third and fourth line guys that want to check real well and kill penalties, and then you got your top, 6, 7 forwards, and when he's in that spot, he's a good player for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
There's Gerard Gallant of the Vegas Golden Knights, who have evened this series after an impressive 3-1 win here at Bell MTS Place. Game 3 will go Wednesday at T-Mobile Arena. I got to get that. I haven't been to that rink yet, so I have to start remembering the place that the Jets are playing next. Jets pass holders today's Jets TV Live postgame promo code is Jersey. Log into jetsrewards.ca and enter the code Jersey to earn 50 Jets reward points for tuning in. He is Jordy Douglas. I'm Jamie Thomas. Let's go over the highlights from Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Not much scoring for the Jets in this hockey game, but there is Thomas Tatar. We've talked about him. Stopped first by Hellebuck, but there for the rebound.
Yeah, and it was a great play. The pass from the middle of the ice. Everybody's looking for the shot from the slot. It's a nice pass. There's a great save. That puck, it takes a fortuitous bounce right back out in front. Yeah. He's hungry on it. Tatar gets at it. Just can't. You see Stastny couldn't get at that stick, and it's in the net.
Well, here's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Kyle Connor can't get the puck in deep, and the Jets caught on a line change.
Yeah, too many guys going to the bench as opposed to staying back and supporting. Again, folks, mistakes happen real quick, but they turn up the ice even quicker. And once you get a Marchessault in the ice like that, he had 2 goals tonight. That's the first of the 2, and just a great move, and it's in the net.
Off to the power play in the third period for the Jets. It's the second unit. Kyle Connor kind of making up for that mistake in the neutral zone. He's just a simple shot on goal, which is when you're trying to score and you haven't scored yet, you just got to throw the puck on the net.
Listen, there's holes there. When goalies bend down like that, they create a little bit of hold. You just saw Fleury. He wasn't sure. He's looking around. Well, where did that go? Just hit the net. Hit the net. That's what he's trying to create a rebound, I think. He's trying to get it to bounce in front of the net, but it finds its way in the net and wakes everybody up in the building and on the ice.
And as the building is buzzing, there is Vegas with perfect timing. Jacob Trouba jumping up the play. That's a great play in the neutral zone. And then there's Jonathan Marchessault again.
Yeah, and a brilliant pass. Smith throws that pass across. He draws 2 guys over. They end up going. There's Morrissey going. They're trying to take the pass away and leaves a man open in front of the net again. And just you leave a goal scorer like that, they're going to end up putting it in the net, and he did.
Yeah, great. We have not given the Vegas Golden Knights enough credit here tonight. They played a great game. They're a very good hockey team, and I found Marchessault commenting that we proved to the hockey world that we belong here. Between you and me, we know they belong here. So it's interesting how they have to keep bringing that up.
But that's probably, truth be told, that's the bricks they built the franchise on. It's in a psychological way. They're saying, well, nobody really wanted you. We do, though. We want you in Vegas, but we all want you together. And they would be a band of brothers. These would be guys that they can all play there. They were all that close if they weren't already on the team that they left, and now they find a home. They want to play. They're all skilled players. They all have speed. They can all skate. And now they're building a team together, a band of brothers. And boy, doesn't it sound similar to the Jets? They're not even worried about the next game. Sorry, the last game. They're worried about the next game. And both are already thinking that. So they're well coached. They're well prepared for games. And they have a mindset to prove something. And boy, thus far in the playoffs, they sure have.
Golden Knights have yet to lose back-to-back games in these Stanley Cup playoffs. The Jets have not done so either so far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Game 3 of this series goes Wednesday in Vegas. He's Jordy Douglas. I'm Jamie Thomas. Thanks for joining us for the Jets TV Live post-game show.